Ready, the Indiana Fever beat the Washington Mystics in the first game of the Commissioner's Cup 85-76, and we had a few good games from a few common folk.
No one saw this coming. The Indiana Fever, a team universally dismissed and reeling from the devastating loss of their superstar, just delivered a Commissioner's Cup upset that sent shockwaves through the entire WNBA. This wasn't just a win, it was a furious, deeply personal battle for respect, a defiant middle finger to every analyst who wrote them off. How did they pull it off? An unlikely veteran stepped up, an unexpected second half surge ignited their offense, and a complete unknown transformed their defense. This is the shocking, untold story of how the Fever flipped their season and left their rivals stunned.
The Indiana Fever, Kelsey Money Mitch, put them in a ditch. Lexie Hull taking over. Ari McDonald and her farm giving me assists, giving me steals. 5 assists for Ari McDonald. Oh yeah, we're ready.
The agonizing pain, the whispers of doom, the immediate predictions of failure. It all began with a single, heart-stopping moment. Caitlin Clark, the league's electrifying rookie sensation, went down with a left quad strain on May 26th. The reaction across the sports world was instantaneous, brutal, and overwhelmingly dismissive. Analysts, fans, and even rival teams, with a certain gleeful anticipation, rushed to write the Fever off completely. Every conversation, every pundit's take, every sports radio debate suddenly revolved around one bleak conclusion. Indiana was lost, utterly finished, rendered helpless without their generational superstar.
Great job today, man. Getting the ugly one. Getting out of the ugly phase and pulling off. That's what it's, man. That's what it takes.
What followed was a brutal, soul-crushing 3-game losing streak, each defeat more demoralizing than the last, tirelessly feeding the narrative that the Fever were definitively done for the season. The first loss against the powerhouse New York Liberty wasn't a shock, given their formidable reputation, but just 2 days later, on May 28th, came the one that truly stung, the one that ignited a furious desire for vengeance.
But Caitlin Clark has said she has made good progress, opened up the possibility of returning for a game against the Atlanta Dream, which would be about 2 weeks out. Nonetheless, she said she wouldn't rush back, which is the expectation.
The Fever faced the Washington Mystics, and it wasn't merely a loss. It was an 83-77 beatdown, a clinical dismantling where the Mystics seemed to walk all over Indiana, treating them like an overmatched, utterly helpless opponent. Washington's attitude was painfully clear, their swagger undeniable. The Fever were hapless, a team completely lost and without hope now that Clark was sidelined. It wasn't just a bad night, it was a humiliating, unforgettable slap in the face that lingered for days.
Both of you just getting your first win after a 3-game losing streak, how did it feel?
I mean, I'm just proud of our group for staying with it. Obviously, we can't control injuries, we can't control any of that, but I think we had 2 really good practices this week, and to be able to come out and get a win after that, I'm just proud of us for fighting, and also just really proud of Ari for coming out and providing just some incredible minutes, 27 minutes, and she was ready. She stayed ready, and we needed every single one of those, and just really proud of the group today.
Yet that infuriating arrogance from the Mystics wasn't a new phenomenon. It was a deeply ingrained part of a simmering tension that had been brewing between these two teams since even before the regular season began. The animosity had taken root in the preseason when Sophie Cunningham, a tough and gritty player for the Fever, became a specific, undeniable target for the Mystics' hyper-physical play and relentless, in-your-face trash talk. Washington missed absolutely no opportunity to shove, push, and openly tried to intimidate Indiana, especially Cunningham, seemingly reveling in their attempts to rattle the young team.
I'll say it. Fire Stephanie White. Oh boy.
Indiana Fever lose to a young Washington Mystics team 83-77. Look lost. without Caitlin Clark.
The message emanating from Washington, delivered with every rough foul and every sneering word, was unmistakably clear. The Fever were supposed to be nothing more than punching bags, convenient opponents to be pushed around, certainly not genuine rivals. By the time the regular season rematch rolled around, that deep-seated animosity was thick in the air, a palpable force felt by every player and fan. The May 28th game, that absolute embarrassment, that humiliating defeat had only poured gasoline onto an already smoldering fire. Indiana had no real answer that night for the Mystics' sheer aggression and unbridled confidence.
Debbie, this is a preseason game, and I know it wasn't announced that Caitlin Clark wouldn't play until right before, but this is a preseason game where Clark is not available, and yet been passing with just flying colors. And
Washington's swagger, combined with the Fever's raw frustration and simmering anger, set the definitive tone for what would inevitably become one of the most fiercely anticipated, deeply personal revenge games of the entire season. The stage was set for a confrontation built on more than just standings. It was about earning dignity.
This was a absolute embarrassment. An embarrassing performance from the Indiana Fever.
Behind the scenes, away from the glaring spotlights and the harsh criticism, something truly profound began to shift within the Indiana Fever locker room. The team stopped waiting, halted their anxious glances toward the injury report for Clark's return, and instead started playing as a cohesive, determined unit. They understood deeply that no single player, no matter how talented, could possibly fill Caitlin Clark's monumental shoes. So they leaned into each other, embraced a collective identity, moving the ball with newfound purpose, trusting their teammates implicitly, and miraculously finding offensive rhythm in the most unexpected places.
Fever down, you know what's coming. Bow, bow, bow! On to the next. Woo! Feels good, baby. Woo! Taking a whip on baby. That's a good-looking dog. Woo!
This collective shift, this unspoken commitment to shared responsibility paid off dramatically in the revenge game, where they dished out a stunning 21 assists, a clear testament to truly unified play, with every single player contributing in meaningful ways. At the absolute heart of this stunning transformation stood Kelsey Mitchell, the resilient, undeniable backbone of this team for years. But on this pivotal night, she had to elevate her game to an entirely different, unprecedented level. With Clark sidelined, the Mystics had built their entire defensive strategy, every single trap and rotation, around stopping Mitchell, treating her as Indiana's only real offensive threat. Everyone knew the burden rested squarely on her shoulders, that she had to deliver under immense pressure.
Look, this looks like it's going to be a big victory, all right? They're without Caitlin Clark. They need this game.
Yet, instead of forcing difficult shots or playing with a rushed, desperate urgency, Mitchell played with the kind of unflappable composure and strategic brilliance you only expect from a seasoned, battle-hardened leader. She finished the game with an impressive 23 points, efficiently hitting 7 of 14 shots from the field, including a red-hot 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. Every time Washington tried to trap her, every time they tried to force her into a tough spot, she responded with grace under pressure, calmly moving the ball, finding wide-open teammates, and patiently waiting for her precise moment to strike. And when the crucial fourth quarter tightened, with the game hanging in the balance, Mitchell delivered a crucial three-point play that firmly put the Fever in undeniable control. Her teammates, like Ari McDonald, summed it up perfectly after the game, saying Mitchell did everything amazingly and with such grace. She was the steady, unwavering hand in the storm. Yet, for all of Kelsey Mitchell's incredible performance and unwavering leadership, she absolutely did not do it alone. The other half of the Fever's offensive revolution, a transformation that was just as critically important, came from the unlikeliest of sources, Lexie Hull. In the entire first half of the game, Hull, almost unbelievably, didn't register a single point. You could have watched those first 2 quarters, closely observing every offensive possession, and barely even noticed her presence on that end of the floor. Then, in the third quarter, something truly extraordinary happened. She flipped a switch, an internal ignition that sent a jolt of electricity through the entire team. Hull, previously invisible offensively, exploded for an astonishing 12 points in that single quarter alone, hitting an incredibly efficient 5 of 6 shots from the field.
McDonald trying to use that Boston screen. McDonald inside, Mitchell hangs, lays it in, and a foul. Kelsey Mitchell trying to put the finishing touches on this one.
She finished the game with 14 points, every single one of them scored after halftime, and added 6 crucial rebounds along with 4 impactful assists. Hull's relentless energy, her constant, intelligent movement off the ball, and her aggressive attacks forced the Mystics' defense into a desperate scramble, completely dismantling their carefully constructed schemes and opening up critical space for every other player on the floor. She drove hard to the basket, fearlessly knocked down open shots when they presented themselves, and consistently made the extra pass that kept Washington's defenders guessing. Suddenly, Washington's supposedly impenetrable defense looked utterly rattled, completely unsure of who to focus on, who the next threat would be.
Kelsey Money Mitch, oh yeah. Take us home, Kels. Take us home. 24 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. It feels good to be coming here to you.
That shocking, explosive third quarter surge from Lexie Hull was precisely the spark Indiana needed, the unforeseen catalyst that completely and irrevocably shifted the momentum of the entire game. It was a revelation.
McDonald trying to use that Boston screen. McDonald inside, Mitchell hangs, lays it in, and a foul. Kelsey Mitchell trying to put...
But the Indiana Fever's stunning win, their defiant statement, didn't just come from their established core players stepping up in critical moments. There was one more profound surprise, one more completely unexpected element that fundamentally changed the game's entire rhythm, proving that true depth could be found even in the most desperate circumstances. Aari McDonald's incredible story began the minute she landed in Indianapolis, a brand new face, signed on an emergency hardship contract, suddenly, unbelievably thrust directly into the middle of a high-stakes, deeply personal revenge game with virtually no preparation. The Fever, reeling from multiple injuries, desperately needed help, and fast. With Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Sydney Colson all sidelined,
Lexie Hull,
Indiana's
14
backcourt
points,
was dangerously
6
thin,
rebounds,
down
4
to bare
assists.
bones.
Lexie Hull, taking it off the dribble, taking it off the dribble, reverse layup. Lexie Hull, what got into you today, Lexie? What got into you in that third quarter? Holy smokes. Lexie Hull. Dude, Lexie Hull taking Sonia Citrone off the dribble. Yeah, she's like that. Lexie Hull reverse layup. Okay, Lexie, go on with your bad self.
McDonald had almost no time to learn the system, no luxury of building chemistry with her teammates, no chance to ease into her role. She had to step in and go immediately with absolutely no excuses, and her impact from the very first minute was impossible to ignore, a force multiplier that everyone quickly recognized. McDonald played an impressive 27 minutes, but what truly set the tone, what truly stunned opponents and teammates alike, was her relentless, suffocating defense. In the first 8 minutes alone, she drew an incredible 3 charges. That kind of audacious defensive presence doesn't just show up on a stat sheet. It fundamentally rattles the opposing team. It changes their offensive approach. It makes them hesitate.
Let's make sure Lexie gets some all-star votes. Here we go. Let me run it. All right, inbound pass. She's going to drive the baseline.
Working the baseline in a pretty reverse.
The little over and in. Let me see if I can get this clear. There we go.
Lexie Hull, who continues to shine. I mean, Lexie Hull has just been terrific this season. She is shooting the ball at an unbelievable clip. Talk about drawing fouls. Talk about energy. Talk about plus minus not being a deceiving stat. That is the case with Lexie Hull, who's plus 19 in this game, and it feels completely accurate, right? I mean, she's shooting 57% from 3 on the season going in, 52% from the field. I believe that's going in as well, but regardless, you get the point.
The Mystics had arrived expecting to control the tempo, to dictate the game, but McDonald changed their rhythm from the opening tip. She used her lightning speed and uncanny anticipation to disrupt passing lanes, finishing her sensational debut with 3 crucial steals and 5 assists. Every time Washington tried to run their sets, every time they initiated their offensive flow, McDonald was there, lurking, forcing turnovers, making them undeniably uncomfortable. Coach Stephanie White's assessment placement was understated but precise. That's exactly what we needed, and she wasn't exaggerating. McDonald's fierce defensive intensity gave the Fever a brand new aggressive edge. Her uncanny ability to draw charges and force turnovers made the Mystics visibly hesitate, second-guess their moves. That surge of energy, that sudden confidence, spread like wildfire through the entire team, with everyone rotating quicker, crashing the boards harder, and instinctively turning defensive stops into blistering fast breaks.
Our ability to drive and get angles and be able to find and touch the paint with 2 feet and either, score and/or get these threes that you're talking about, it kind of just serves to everyone kind of getting a rhythm and everybody finding a way to kind of be impacted through the game. And I think the more that we do touch the paint, the more that we do get drives and play inside out through AB and DD and them like that, I think it just kind of, you're going to see more open up for us. And so I just think we got to give ourselves some grace, but stay patient.
Let me say right off the bat, Aari McDonald is for real. When they signed her, I said, look, there could be something here, all right? The stats show she's got something.
Indiana's confidence visibly swelled with every single possession, fueled by this unexpected hero. Even Kelsey Mitchell noticed it right away, calling McDonald the ultimate pro after the game, praising how quickly she picked up the system and how seamlessly she fit in. That's not something you hear every day, especially from a veteran who truly knows what it takes to win in this league. McDonald earned her teammates' deep, abiding respect in a matter of minutes, not weeks, showing everyone that the Fever had an unseen game-changing force in their ranks, a genuine, undeniable asset.
Bonner on the blow by. Austin got a piece. Bonner thought she was fouled. Oh, but McDonald took it away. Wrap around pass and Bonner, right place, right time. McDonald trying to use that Boston screen. McDonald inside. Mitchell hangs, lays it in, and a foul. Kelsey Mitchell trying to put the finishing touches on this one.
The profound connection between Kelsey Mitchell's calm, unwavering leadership, Lexie Hull's explosive, unexpected energy, and Aari McDonald's tenacious, game-changing defensive intensity became vividly clear on that fateful night. Mitchell, drawing defenders with her very presence, found Hull cutting or spotting up for open shots, while Hull's quick reads and aggressive drives created invaluable space for Mitchell to operate. Meanwhile, McDonald's debut fundamentally solved a major problem for Indiana. With Clark sidelined and Colson struggling, the Fever had desperately lacked a true, consistent point guard, but McDonald filled that critical role immediately, effortlessly bringing defensive pressure, expertly controlling the tempo, and giving the team a thrilling new identity built on grit and smart play.
No doubt. There were still 3 or 4 times where I was screaming at the television, quit dribbling, and shooting, because the ball sometimes comes into Kelsey and it goes there to die.
On an 11-2 advantage, miscommunication and stolen by McDonald, who races to the other end and finishes.
This wasn't merely about individual scoring. It was about the purest form of smart, unselfish basketball that kept the Mystics continuously guessing, consistently on their heels. Coach Stephanie White proudly noted their astounding 21 assists on just 30 field goals, a remarkable statistic and a powerful sign of a truly connected, unified team. Mitchell set the decisive tone, but Hull and others kept the ball moving with precision and purpose, forcing the Mystics to work relentlessly on every single possession. Hull's second half surge, combined with McDonald's instant impact, completely shifted the game's momentum, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Indiana could still generate powerful offense and secure a victory as a cohesive unit. This game, this monumental upset, made one undeniable thing crystal clear. The Indiana Fever, even without their transcendent star, possessed far more depth, far more resilience, and far more heart than anyone had given them credit for.
And coming here, I'm thinking maybe you should get a, turnover, 2, 3 turnovers, maybe. No turnovers, fam. No turnovers. Give us 3 steals, 5 assists. Had the most assists in the game. Yo, playing tremendous defense out here. Pushing the floor. Making great decisions. Oh my goodness. I mean, she played so good. You have people saying, fire Turner, hire McDonald.
Mitchell, Hull, and McDonald, these unexpected heroes, proved that Indiana could find answers in the most unforeseen places, even when the glaring spotlight was supposed to be fixed somewhere else entirely. They had been written off, laughed at, and underestimated, but in that Commissioner's Cup game, they delivered an absolute thunderous statement. The Indiana Fever are unequivocally, definitively far from finished. Their story was just beginning.
I don't give a rip if she is 5'6". She's young. This team needs some youth. She's only 26 years old.
Just the fans, sports that they all were very welcoming and make sure, I had everything to be successful tonight. And man, just shout out for the win. Your number's called, you got to be ready to deliver, and I felt like I did just that. But obviously I'm not satisfied, but grateful we got the win though.
And now, a far larger, more intriguing question looms, casting its shadow and its promise over the entire WNBA. What happens when Caitlin Clark, the undeniable face of the league, makes her highly anticipated return to a team that has, surprisingly, found its formidable identity and newfound winning ways without her? Clark's return isn't just a simple lineup change, it's a seismic shift, a gravitational event that will undeniably reshape the entire landscape for the Fever, and everyone, from casual fans to seasoned analysts, can feel it. The anticipation for her comeback is palpable, a tangible excitement that can be seen, heard, and measured everywhere you look. It's strikingly visible in the astonishing, almost unbelievable numbers surrounding her potential return.
The Indy Star collected data from Ticketmaster and found that selected ticket prices for Clark's future matchups against the Sun, Mystics, and Sky, in which she is expected to play, increased by as much as 366%.
When news first broke that Clark was close to stepping back onto the court, the market reaction was nothing short of insane. Ticket prices for the Fever's future matchups against powerhouse teams like the Connecticut Sun, the Washington Mystics, and the Chicago Sky shot up overnight, skyrocketing into uncharted territory. Selected seats for her anticipated game saw jaw-dropping increases as high as 366%. A ticket in Section 120 that once cost a modest $86.25 jumped to an astonishing $140.30 in a matter of mere days, a staggering 62% increase for a single seat. Fans aren't just curious, they are desperate, almost frantic to be in the building because Clark doesn't just play the game, she utterly transforms it with her electrifying presence. Her impact goes far beyond mere box scores or stat sheets. Even after missing crucial games with her quad injury, Clark amazingly sits second in the MVP race. According to leading sportsbooks, that's an absolutely wild statistic for any rookie, let alone one who has been sidelined, and it speaks volumes about the profound way she changes the conversation around the Fever, around the league itself.
The most expensive ticket in Section 120 for Friday's contest against the Sun cost $86.25. When Indiana hosts the Sun June 17th, a ticket in the same section will cost $140.30, a 62.7% increase.
When she's on the court, defenses simply have no choice but to account for her every single move, her every intention. Her immense gravity pulls defenders her way like a magnet, creating a cascade of open opportunities for her teammates. Suddenly, Kelsey Mitchell is wide open on a quick drive and kick, or Lexie Hull gets a clean, uncontested look from the corner of the court. Opposing teams simply cannot cheat or sag off her without severe consequences because Clark makes them pay every single time with a deep three or a pinpoint assist. She's not just a scorer, she's the unstoppable engine that makes the entire offense hum, the orchestrator who unlocks everyone else. Her return means the Fever's newly confident role players will get to settle even deeper into their strengths without the pressure of having to constantly fill gaps.
The fans get ready, and the league sort of anticipates her re-arrival. The fans are starting to get their ducks in a row to try to get those tickets. Well, those ticket prices are all starting to go up now.
The offense won't just be about Clark creating in isolation. It'll be about how her sheer presence unlocks and elevates the entire roster, forcing defenses to pick their poison, a dilemma Indiana hasn't been able to truly create since Clark went out. Let's be absolutely real. Clark's return isn't just a game, it's a national event. Every daring three-pointer, every breathtaking transition assist, every big moment she creates is destined to be a headline, a viral sensation. She brings unprecedented national attention, sells out arenas across the country, and puts the Fever and the entire league under a spotlight that has never, ever been brighter. The ticket surges aren't just about fandom, they're about the undeniable sense that something truly monumental is about to happen every single time she steps onto the floor.
Nonetheless, she said she wouldn't rush back, which is the expectation. The Fever don't want her to aggravate the injury and be on the shelf any longer or have their season upended. But nonetheless, the fact that she's talking about the return being in short order has to be great and gratifying news, not only for Fever fans, but for the WNBA as well, as everyone wants to see Caitlin Clark back on the court at 100%.
All of this means expectations are rapidly changing, shifting almost daily for the Indiana Fever. They aren't just clinging to hope, merely hoping to survive until Clark gets healthy. They are now actively building real, undeniable momentum, forging a new identity forged in adversity. The revenge win over the Mystics proved, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that they possess the depth, the talent, and the resilience to fiercely compete. And now, with Caitlin Clark's highly anticipated return firmly on the horizon, the possibilities for this team are suddenly wide open, stretching out before them like an unwritten saga. The team's confidence has soared. The fans are passionately engaged like never before, and every single game from here on out feels like a must-watch, a crucial chapter in an unfolding drama.
Our ability to drive and get angles and be able to find and touch the paint with 2 feet and either, score and/or get these threes that you're talking about, it kind of just serves to everyone kind of getting a rhythm and everybody finding a way to kind of be impacted through the game. And I think the more that we do touch the paint, the more that we do get drives and play inside out through AB and Didi and them like that, I think it just kind of, you're going to see more open up for us. And so I just think we got to give ourselves some grace, but stay patient.
As Clark meticulously prepares to rejoin the lineup, the Fever's stunning revenge win has not just set the stage, it has profoundly elevated it for something truly historically bigger. The entire league is watching, captivated. The fans are waiting, breathless with anticipation, and Indiana, resilient and re-energized, is undeniably ready to show just how far they can truly go. This was a statement win, a moment where the Indiana Fever, previously written off by analysts and rival fans alike, definitively showed they possess the undeniable resilience to compete under immense pressure.
A big focus for us is 0.5 basketball. Get the ball, do something with it, either drive, pass, shoot, and just trying to make those right reads and make them quick. And I think that helps just when our spacing's good, those reads are way easier. And I think that's really what it comes down to. I think our team just played really well together, and we got to spots and we made the extra pass. And we shot, I don't remember what they said, but a lot of our points were off of assists. And that's all we can really ask for a team. So just really, again, I'm just so happy with the outcome of the game and how everyone felt out there. It was fun.
Without Caitlin Clark, they played with a fierce purpose, proving this roster is deeper, tougher, and far more cohesive than anyone had previously given them credit for. The Fever's triumph over the Mystics wasn't merely about surviving, it was a loud declaration that they absolutely belong in the playoff conversation. With Clark's comeback looming large, the sense of optimism is not just real, it's palpable, almost electric. If you believe her return will spark a historic playoff run for this team, comment "I've got the Fever" below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe for more thrilling content, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss the next explosive Fever showdown.